Hi, I'm Chuck Marunde, real estate broker in Sequim for 15 years, and for 20 years before that, a real estate attorney, all told, in Sequim for 29 years. And so I'm bringing you the knowledge and experience you expect to get from an exclusive buyer's agent. So today, I want to talk to you specifically about one of the traps for the unwary that unfortunately really could be a trap that could catch you. And we're talking about private wells and well inspections and the kinds of issues that come up that, not everybody's going to tell you the truth from the selling side, or in this case, the neighbor's side. And so today I'm going to tell you a true story, and I think you'll enjoy it. Let's get to it. All right, what we have here is another gorgeous home in Sequim that I sold to some clients from California. Actually, he was retired from the Carpenters Union, and he and his wife wanted to move to Sequim, had been planning for it, and took many months actually to find this house and to get an offer that was accepted by the seller. There are some really important due diligence issues that we needed to perform here. And so, of course, we went through the standard. In the process, it turned out there was a very, very serious problem with the well. There was a little bit of dishonesty and things going on with the well that really required a great deal of investigation and due diligence on our part. We had to know when to recognize that things weren't quite right. The well inspection that we did came back and indicated that there were problems potentially with the well storage tank and the pump. The well was actually a private well shared by two houses here, this house and the house adjacent to it. And so we had a little trouble digging up records to find out exactly what the arrangement was, because the original arrangement, I found a document that was recorded, and it said that the well, which was on this property that my client was buying, was going to be shared by the neighbor, and the neighbor would pay a flat fee per month. I think it was $25 per month for use of the well. Well, this was something that was done decades ago. So it was like a note scribbled on toilet paper. It was just, there were no details there. It was ambiguous. It was unclear who would be responsible for maintenance of the well, how would they share the expenses, and how would that fee go up if costs went up over time. So in that whole process, we found out that there were some problems with the well as it existed in terms of producing enough water for this house. So we had a well inspection done. But in the process, that well inspector talked to the neighbor, and he told us later that the reason he was going to recommend an entirely new system inside the well shed on this property, a new storage pressure tank and equipment, associated equipment. He said, if I recommend that, you might get a free improvement on all of your equipment over there in the shed, indicating, and I don't know the exact words, but indicating it didn't really need all that new equipment, but he was going to put it in and stiff my buyer with the additional cost, or if they negotiated, the seller of this house, but that the neighbor he was telling would get this free system installed and an upgrade. Well, guess what? That neighbor is an honest man, and later on told somebody who told us. So we hired another company with a lot of integrity to go in and examine the well shed, the storage tank, and all of the associated equipment. And he said, no, it doesn't look like it needs the kind of replacement that you were talking about. The well inspection addendum is an extremely important document, and it includes, as you can see, deadlines, and we're talking about deadlines for a response to the well inspection report in case there's a problem. We've got to perhaps put some pressure on the seller to take care of the problem, or offer a solution to fix any problems or to terminate the transaction from the buyer side entirely. Water quantity and water quality are important issues, and the buyer's entitled to hire a well inspector to test for, typically in this area, gallons per minute water flow, and also send in a lab test for nitrate and bacteria. Now, there are a lot of different kinds of systems depending on the well itself. Now, obviously, if you're on a municipal system, you don't need any of this, but a private well system, depending on the well itself, the depth of the well, the quality of the water flow, may need special designs or systems. So this is a rather extensive system here. I just wanted to show you this. This happens to be a well that I think only produced maybe a half a gallon per minute. And so they needed to include storage tanks here, as well as a filtration system and a big water pressure tank. And as you can see, they had a filtration system there, including that little UV filter there. That kills all bacteria, 100% bacteria. Nothing can get through that. Here's another system in a house where you've got the water pressure tank, the great big blue tank. You've got looks like a mineral filter over on the right-hand side, the black tank, and then the little black bucket that holds salt. And then that, again, that tubular blue tank on the wall there, that's another filtration system, probably taking out any potential things like nitrates that can't be killed like bacteria. And then you can see also that silver tube, which is the ultraviolet filter that kills 100% of any bacteria that's remaining in the system at that point. Now, most people in the Sequim, Port Angeles areas do not have extensive systems like this. I'm just showing you that this is very, very detailed and extensive, but most of us have wonderful wells that are perfectly pure and don't even need any filtration. For a well system that does operate at a very slow rate, less than perhaps 3 gallons a minute, maybe even less than 5 gallons a minute, but certainly when you get down to about 1 or 2 gallons a minute, you need a cistern. This is a cistern. It's a 500-gallon storage tank. And once you have one of these, you won't run out of water, because between the water in this tank and the water that gets pumped into it, a retired couple certainly, but even a family of 4 or 5 are probably not going to ever run out of water with a storage tank like this. But it does often require maintenance, and you've got to pay attention to, again, keeping the system clean. Some systems are simpler than others. Some are a little more involved. This is our true story. And this is in a shed outside on the property. There were some repairs that were required. Storage tank itself, the bladder in the storage tank was, I believe, not functioning well enough to keep the pressure up like it should. So there were repairs that we requested on behalf of the buyer that the seller would make those repairs, and he agreed to do so. You know, I guess one of the big points I wanted to make in this video is that, again, as I often say and learned as an attorney, there are many traps for the unwary. And had we not done our due diligence, had I not dug into the records for my client, we may not have found out the full story on this well. And there would have been problems that I think later on would have cost my client somewhere around $3,500 to repair. And thank goodness that between my buyer and myself, we had the knowledge and experience to dig and dig and dig, ask the right questions. Don't forget, one of my favorite sayings, if you've watched any of my videos, is the answers you get in life are only as good as the questions you ask. So if you have any questions, you can always text me. That's the best way to reach me. 360-775-5424. And I'll see you in the next video.